There's obviously a lot of discussion, particularly at the beginning of this week, about Trump's deportation flights of gang members and he's getting all the murderers off the streets and everything. There is significantly less discussion about the many people that have been deported that have done basically nothing wrong and seem, for all intents and purposes, like exactly the sort of people that we'd want in America. And I understand why Trump doesn't want you to think about these people. They're being deported, both because he hates everyone who doesn't look like him, but also to bulk up the numbers, to make it seem as if he's doing something great. But is he? Here's a little case study for you. This is the story of a 37-year-old mother of 5 who was living in the Milwaukee area. And since she was 8 months old, by the way. So she just lives in Milwaukee, there. Like as much as anyone lives anywhere, nobody remembers when they were 6 months old. That's all that she knows, all that she remembers. She is now under military guard in Laos with no ability to get the life-saving medication, in this case, insulin, that she needs. So she's 37 years old, mother of 5. She doesn't speak the Lao language because she's not from there. She doesn't live there. She has no family or friends in the country. The military has all of her documents. She wasn't even born there for the first 8 months of her life. She was born in Thailand, okay? Legal permanent US resident up until the point that she pleaded guilty to taking part in a marijuana trafficking operation. We'll have more details on that. So she worked as a nail technician and a receptionist at nail salons. This is before the pandemic. She was earning a living for her children who range in age from 6 to 22. Her partner is disabled. He has had 2 brain surgeries, partially paralyzed, and suffers from memory loss. So in the same way that she is now in a place where how is she gonna possibly take care of herself? Her kids are now in a pretty difficult position, again, because of this needless cruelty from the Trump administration. But you might think, okay, well, marijuana trafficking, that's really serious. Let's talk about that. Okay, so she was among 26 people indicted in a sweeping federal case in 2020. It alleged that she helped count and package cash that was mailed to marijuana suppliers in California. She took a plea deal and served 2.5 years in prison, which seems to me like a big punishment for what's being alleged, but she served that time. Now, she said that her attorney incorrectly told her the plea deal would not affect her immigration status as a green card holder, but her legal permanent residency was revoked. Now, after she was released, she had regular ICE check-ins. She was called in for a check-in 9 months before her scheduled date, and there she was just deported to Laos after spending 2 weeks in an Indiana jail. So she was told by her counsel that this wouldn't happen. She was either lied to or they were incompetent, but what's the difference? Her life is effectively over as an American at this point. And so she just goes in because she's not one of those people that Donald Trump lies about that just disappear, that don't comply with their court dates and everything, and they're just hiding in the shadows. She was going to all of these. They call her in early, they pack her up, that's it, you're gone. Screw your family, screw your partner, screw your friends, the social networks you're a part of, the way that you enhance our economy, all that stuff. Screw it. We're gonna send you to a country you know literally nothing about. She is as prepared to live on the streets of Laos as me or JR are at this point. And that's it. She ever gonna come back here? Now you might think, well, maybe a judge will say that it has to be reversed. Judges have been ruling against Trump on immigration, but the issue is, there's a lot of reporting out this week, and we're gonna talk more about it this week. He is just not complying with what judges have said. They've told him in specific cases not to deport individual people, and he's just done it anyway, because he doesn't feel he has to comply with court orders in this case. And so look, the case study is terrible. The context, maybe even more so. This is terrible and 100% authoritarian, but JR, what do you make of it?
It's a direct mirroring of the way he's always done anything. Look, he likes to tie things up in the courts. He likes to make sure that once he's ruled against, he just doesn't do it or defies it further or stretches it down the line more until just either time runs out or people don't have any more options left. This is the way he's trying to run our government now. So he's ignoring courts. I mean, we talked about Tom Homan as literally sit in front of a camera and say, we don't care what the courts say. We do what we want. Come and fight us. And then the fight happens, and then they keep defunding things and they keep kicking folks out, probably making sure that there's not much of movement that'll happen within these lower level courts that could defy him. Just hoping at some point it gets to his court that he figures he's got full control over in the Supreme Court. So this is just a direct reflection of the way he's always done this type of stuff. I do what I want, stop me later. And then while you're trying to stop me, I'm gonna do the next thing. So the destruction of the country is it's happening like dominoes falling. So particular people like this woman, who I'm sure there's other cases similar or even not even as severe as her being a part of this marijuana packaging operation. But they're spending time and money and energy on this. Think about that.
Yeah.
Time, money, energy on this one woman and whatever children she's got, and her disabled, unhealthy husband that she apparently was taking care of, while you guys are screaming about how the crime is coming and overriding your world, while your children and probably you are smoking that J. Just remember that part. No one ever points this out, John. While we're screaming and crying about fentanyl and the overrunning of drugs in our country coming from the southern border, coming from China, they're producing it, they're coming to destroy us. Who's buying it? Are Americans buying it? Why? It's like anything else. Just because it's drug dealing doesn't mean it's not a normal business process of supply and demand. If nobody's demanding it, there's no supply for it. Why are Americans in such high demand for these drugs?
Yep, 100%. And some people will be like, good, I don't care. She's illegal, even though she, again, was a legal resident. And they enjoy it. They enjoy it enough, I guess, to ignore the fact that we probably paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to deport her. We know how expensive these flights are. So that's fun on top of it. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.